I'm back. Dame, are you back?
I sure am. I sure hope this cat isn't yelling this entire time.
Okay,
She's been good.
if it is, then you just say sorry cat and then there'll be just fucking YouTube comments about the cat.
Yeah, there'll be a million. If anything, it might help boost the video.
Hello, this is Addison from A.N.I.M, the A.N.I.M team, the Agency of Narrative Intrigue and Mystery, and with me is Jordan, also known as Dame. I think she's credited as Jordan. But
Hi, everybody.
Yes, she is a, I guess, secondary member of the team, a freelancer. We pay for stuff.
A friend of the family. Occasionally I make comics about monster girls.
Yes. She's a good friend of many members of the A.N.I.M team, and we pay her for art sometimes to put in the book. She did a lot of art for the fan service files, that expansion, which we'll probably definitely reference that again because of the subject matter that it'll become clear. So for this video, we are going to be going through another character creation walkthrough, I guess, like the one I did for the character Nick Morgan in the video Making a Noir Detective for Eureka Investigative Urban Fantasy, but probably a little smoother this time and with a little bit less explanation because you already got the other video. I don't know, we're gonna wing it. This isn't scripted. I didn't write a script for this one.
We're going off rails here, folks.
Yeah. So this is gonna be making the character Bernadette. She is one of Jordan's investigators that she has played several times and is one of the poster childs, I guess, for the whole rulebook because she shows up on the store page. So we're gonna go through character creation.
May I just say, just eternally grateful and amazed that so many people like her.
Well, she's one of my favorite Eureka characters, I think, for sure.
Oh, that's so cool to hear.
Yeah. It's really great to me as a game designer that you had this character concept and then could immediately really easily make it in Eureka Investigative Urban Fantasy without having to, compromise it. Because that was one of the things because I always felt like I had these character concepts in games, especially in my early tabletop RPG career. I had all these character concepts, and especially in my early tabletop RPG career, it's of course my fault that they don't fit the game, because I had mismatched expectations for the game. But even when I did have certain expectations, even though I did understand what the heck I was playing, I would often have these character concepts that went a little beyond what the rules were built for, or didn't completely align, and you'd have to compromise.
It's a lot of
character.
winging it.
Yeah, you'd have to compromise the character a bit, or bring it yourself without the game rules really supporting certain elements of the character. And when I was making Eureka, I wanted to make the character creation really, really broad and not worry about balance. And of course, I will have probably talked in some video about how Eureka is not going for balance, at least as far as destructive power is concerned, because it's not a game about destroying people, it's a game about solving mysteries. So all that really matters is that they're roughly balanced in terms of their information attainment abilities and stuff. Does not matter if they're all equally matched in a fight. And not worry about power balance or stuff like that. And people have these character ideas before they've read the rules. Then they do read the rules, and the characters then fit in the rules without a lot of compromise to the characters. That is what I want to go for, because Bernadette was not originally a character for Eureka.
No, she was not. I've played her a few times before. She was originally in a Burning Wheel campaign, very, very different.
Yes.
Setting.
That iteration of her would have been very different, yes. In Burning Wheel. But Burning Wheel is another one of those games that's very, very expansive and broad in what kind of character you can make.
Absolutely. I guess you could compare the two in regards to just the vast amount of options there are for character creation. I would say that's one of Burning Wheel's strong suits.
Yeah.
And because of that, it was easy to kind of transfer the essence, if you will, of Burn into this game. You really got a kitchen sink approach, I guess you could say,
Not exactly, because there are limits, like no ghosts and stuff, that make it...
Sorry, Boo Boys. No ghosts allowed.
The Boo Brothers from Scooby-Doo, they're allowed. I think I would compromise on that if it was, like, intentionally a silly module that, like, is, like intentionally off-tone and off-setting and has, like, a silly ghost as a character that's, like, a, like, helpful NPC.
Oh, yeah.
And is, like the Boo Brothers.
They can't be like the villain. They're like
they can't be the villain. Scrappy. They can't be But don't run away with that, module writers. If you're listening, stick to the setting guide. No, stick to the setting guide. We have that for a reason. It's actually so important to me that Eureka not just be a complete kitchen sink setting, but it's also important to like mystery structure. Because a lot of the things that we banned in the setting restrictions are like things that we don't think are very good for Eureka mysteries. We've tangented. So that's Bernadette.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Does she have a last name?
Yeah. Well, so first of all, Bernadette is her legal name. She prefers Bern, and her last name is O'Malley.
Okay, is that with an apostrophe?
Yeah.
How exactly do you spell it?
Malley.
Okay, and we'll put Dame as player. So, I guess we will first we'll go through the steps of character creation one by one, and we'll first talk about, in Eureka, you remake a character sheet each time you play the character in a new mystery adventure, and some things literally have to change, like their wealth points, and other things you just sort of examine how they might have changed, or like what fits this particular mystery best. And we don't have a particular mystery in mind for her right now, but we're redoing the character sheet just to record it.
Yeah,
and show people as a tutorial.
Being an investigator tends to take its toll on a person, I would say.
Yeah.
If you're crazy enough to do this on your free time, let alone multiple times.
Yeah, she has been in multiple Eureka adventures, which not that many Eureka characters have, either from dying or from never wanting anything to do with this again. Which I think is the latter is most of them, because we actually haven't had all that many character deaths, at least in the games that we've done.
Many such cases.
I think Eureka just stresses like smart characters, and like the characters are A, smart, and B, like just have the tools to use their smarts to not die, even though they're really fragile. Anyway, tangents. Step 1, come up with a concept. Let's talk about Bernadette as a concept.
Oh, man. So, Bern is a...
Yeah, what's her backstory and stuff?
So, I lovingly refer to her as a former juvenile delinquent. So, I guess just like a regular delinquent nowadays.
Yes, now legally a delinquent, because the first Eureka adventure she was in, she had like turned 18 like a month ago, right?
Yeah. Basically. By this point, I guess the canon, you could say, she's like 19.
Exact age doesn't necessarily matter.
It really doesn't. All you gotta know is that she's young, she's very hot-headed, she is in between homes most of the time. She really has no support network. She was sent away to a group home foster care boarding school early on in her life, and is pretty bitter about it still to this day.
She was born at a very young age all alone.
I guess you could say that.
No, you couldn't.
So much. You really couldn't. She was born to a big family.
I said that she was born at a young age.
I mean,
all alone.
By definition, that's half true. We are all born at a young age. Sent away to like a foster home boarding school arrangement. She was a lot to handle, and she continues to be a lot to handle. She's got bright orange hair that she clearly cuts herself. It's very choppy. It looks kind of terrible. She's covered in freckles. She's got the biggest buck teeth you've ever seen. And she dresses just terribly. It looks like she crawled out of a dumpster most days.
I would say
surplus clothes.
She probably, we often describe her as punk.
Yeah, crust punk.
She's definitely not punk in the way of buying a $150 studded leather jacket kind of punk.
Oh no. Like,
more in the
arguably,
like
she's
really old school,
like
back
she's
when punk
actually
was a bunch of poor people exactly like her, listening to
Yes.
bad music.
Yeah, she doesn't even bother sharing her playlist. You've never heard of what of the bands she's listening to. Yeah, that's kind of her. I'm sure we'll get more into her as this progresses.
Yes, and she has been played in several Eureka adventures, which we will almost certainly be referencing throughout the video. I mean, you don't end up on the store page for the game without being a character that the creators of the game and the community of the game enjoys. So, that's a concept. Alright, step 2, choose skills. For those of you who might not know, there are 22 core skills in Eureka. Most of them have been on screen the entire time so far. There's interpersonal, knowledge, and physical. Interpersonal skills are like social skills. Knowledge skills are just knowledge of various subjects that will become relevant. And physical skills are like, physical skills, but they can also be used like knowledge skills, which is not the topic of this video. Also, potentially write-in skills, which we'll get to after the main skills. And the main rule of the skills is that any of these skills can be rated at -3 to +3, which -3 is like just a complete bumbling idiot at the subject, and then +3 is like an expert who's like who is like an actual like expert on the subject. And you can set those to whatever you want within those bounds, and at the end they just have to add up to 0. So for every like -2, you have to have like a +2 or a +1 here and a +1 there, stuff like that. And that goes for the entire thing. It doesn't have to, it's not like by column. So like you can have a bunch of negatives here and a bunch of positives here. So we'll go with the first skill. We're just going to go in order. Interpersonal skills. So these are, like I said, these are like social skills. I go into them in a lot more detail in the Making a Noir Investigator video, but this video is already going to be pretty long because we're going to go on tangents talking about how much we love Bernadette. And also there's 2 of us and we're just going to talk. And I told the editors to keep a lot of it in. So we're going to start with charm. How charming is Bernadette?
So one thing I want to highlight in these interpersonal skills at large, Bern is very much a guileless character. She wears her heart on her sleeve. What you see is what you get. So charm, kind of like Stray Alley Cat. She's got a charm about her. She's rough around the edges, but God, is she plucky and likable. I'm thinking a 2.
Okay. And we can put whatever we want here, and then at the end of it we will add them all up and make sure that they add up to 0, and if they don't add up to 0 we will just fix it and like take a point from here or add a point there.
Oh yeah.
So next, comfort. How comforting is she?
Comforting. So she's fiercely loyal to the people she deems worthy and is closest to.
How good is she at de-escalating a situation or comforting someone who is in great distress? Like calming them down.
De-escalating absolutely terribly, but giving a shoulder to cry on to a friend, she's a lot better at that. Sometimes she doesn't have the right words for things, but by God she tries. I think like a 1 at least.
Okay. Then manipulate. How good is she at like tricking people, lying to people? This is different from charm, in that charm is about her being able to like get people to trust her and like her, and manipulate is her ability to get people to like do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do, especially if they're like against their own best interest, and like tricking them.
Like I said, she's
lying.
Pretty guileless. If she's gonna make people do what they don't want to do, she's not gonna like try and sway them with words. Okay. I think that's gonna be like probably a -2.
Okay.
Why trick people when you can just beat the fuck out of them? Is her philosophy.
Yeah, and she is. We'll probably get to this when we talk about her athletic skill, but she is a lot taller than I tend to remember her being. She's like 6 feet tall.
No, she's like 5'7". Let's not get too.
Is she like 5'7"?
Yeah, she's pretty average. She's pretty muscular.
Oh, I thought she was like 6 feet tall. Huh.
No.
Well, there is also that art of her in the rulebook where she is absolutely towering over Yvette, even though Yvette is wearing heels.
Well, that's like 4 feet tall, so...
Yvette is 5 feet tall.
That's not that great of an accomplishment.
All right, how good is she at flirting? And not just flirting, but like, flirting good enough to have a seduce skill.
We're looking at a 0.
Okay. Maybe 0 is better than a negative.
There's hope for her yet. She's kind of a lesbian incel at the moment.
I mean, Yvette has told her that she looks really, really attractive, and if she were to just dress and shower nice, she could get a husband easily.
Oh, yeah, if she just put on a dress and changed everything about herself, I'm sure she could get a date easy.
Alright, social cues. How good is she at reading, like, the body language and stuff of others?
Enough to know when a fight's gonna break out. I'm thinking at least a 1. Like, okay. She knows enough to know when people are mad at her.
Okay. Yvette always has to ask.
What's Yvette's at, like -3?
Oh, it's -3. Almost all of Yvette's social stuff is -2 or 3.
We love a deeply upsetting woman in these parts.
So, threaten. How good is she at getting people to do what she wants without, when they don't want to do it, without putting her hands on them or using actual violence?
See, now we're talking. That's gonna at least be a 2, I think.
Okay. That's it for social skills so far.
Easy.
We're gonna scroll down to knowledge skills. These are, well, of course, alright, so all of the skills are used a lot in investigation because they can all be used for investigative roles. But, like, these are the ones that are almost exclusively used for investigation. You'll see. Although, actually, never mind, because, visual calculus and medicine get plenty of use outside of investigation, and, forget I said that they were exclusively investigation. All skills are investigation skills, and not investigation skills at the same time in Eureka. So, how much chemistry does she know?
I'm so glad you asked. This is her best knowledge skill. She doesn't know much, but she knows chemistry. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
+2.
Okay.
For reasons that will be uncovered perhaps in a write-in skill a little later on in the skill tree here.
Okay. What about medical knowledge?
I would say as much as a Boy Scout knows, so maybe like 1. Okay. Enough to patch herself up if she falls off her skateboard.
Okay. Well, a Boy Scout is a 0, and a first responder is a +1. Although, of course, those are just like rough guidelines.
Oh, well, maybe knock it down to 0 then.
All right. Nature. How much actual Boy Scout stuff does she know? And identifying plants and bear tracks and stuff.
Shit about fuck. She's a city girl through and through. -2.
All right. Paperwork. How good is she at reading and parsing written information quickly and effectively and efficiently?
-2, at least. She's kind of a bad investigator.
All of these are investigation skills. This is just her reading skills.
Yeah. She went to a very bad school, is all I'll say.
We're not going to explain what this skill does. You can find this if you read the rulebook. It's somewhere in there, but it's not written here. So what is her blacked out skill, do you think?
Byrne has approximate knowledge on many things that are redacted. However, I would not call her particularly knowledgeable. I think setting it at 0.
Okay. Technology. How's her ability to, work with machines?
She's no computer expert, but she knows enough to use a phone. I think setting it at 0.
0 is a little bit high. The -1 is, uses a computer occasionally.
I think, so, she's young enough to have picked up on at least, modern technology, having a usable working knowledge of it. But she doesn't have, her own personal computer at home. Maybe it should be a little lower.
Yeah, probably.
Let's do -1.
Okay. Visual calculus. How is her, ability to notice extremely small details and, extrapolate from those small details, elements of the physical environment? Get a good idea of where something might have fallen, if it's in a specific spot, or how it might fit into the broken window, or something like that.
I think we may have to do the math on this. I think
We can add them
gonna
up
keep this,
afterwards.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this at 0 because I don't think she's particularly talented at it.
Well, 0 in a lot of these skills can be good. Remember, 0 is not average. 0 is just the middle. The average person does not have a +0 in medicine, for example.
Fair enough. Okay.
So are we still going with 0?
Yeah, like I said, that particular trait is kind of not a dumb stat per se, but it's fine if it goes lower.
Okay.
Now physical traits. Now we're talking.
Well, alright, how is her athletics? Which is her, strength, stamina, ability to lift things, and do a lot of physical exertion.
So she's very young and spry, and does a lot of running and walking and biking around. So she's pretty darn athletic, I would say. At least a 1.
Okay.
Probably can go up.
We can go 2, if you think.
Let's do 2. Yeah.
Because she's not, big and broad and stocky necessarily, but she is pretty tall and
she's
athletic.
She's not a bodybuilder, but
she's got muscles.
Active.
She's got muscles that she likes to, flex and show off. I remember.
Flexes and nobody appreciates.
Alright, close combat. What about her, actual martial arts training?
Ooh, she's scrappy. Knowledge. Her terrible foster home boarding school kind of made her toughen up pretty fast.
But does she have martial arts knowledge? Does she may have been in lots of fights, but, that doesn't automatically make her good at going toe-to-toe with someone who's trained in it.
So, trained by the streets, perhaps? Not classically in, a classical sense of training.
Okay, so freaking -1.
No, she's really good and cool, so it's 2.
I don't think that she's at a 2 from getting into fights at a boarding school.
Well, who's the creator of this great character? Is it you or is it I?
Well, I'm the one who set the criteria of what number relates to what level of martial arts training.
And I'm telling you, she's a savant.
Okay.
Well, I kind of want it high, at least a 1.
Well, I didn't say she couldn't have a 1, but all right, look at these examples.
Oh, I'm seeing.
I can see her at a 1. It takes a lot of actual training and experience to get from a 1 to a 2 here. Let's go with a 1. Do you think?
All right, let's do 1.
I'll let you make the you. This is your character. You make the final call.
All I'm saying is, if there's points to spare, it's going in close combat.
Okay.
Just trained in street MMA.
Driving. How good is she at pulling off maneuvers in a car?
She has never driven a car.
Okay.
Never had the chance.
So
-2.
-2 or 3?
Yeah.
Okay. -2 or -3?
Fuck it. -3.
All right.
Oh wait, I do have a question. Does riding a bike fall under driving?
No, it does not.
Oh, okay. Would that just be athletics, though?
Yeah, that would usually just be athletics, I think.
Gotcha. That was for the sake of the audience. I totally knew that.
Yeah. Firearms. How much does she know about guns and using them? How much experience does she have in that?
Well, she knows a thing or two about firearms, but not guns. If you catch my drift.
Yes, I catch your drift. Now, how much does she know about guns?
-2.
Okay. Reflexes. How, coordinated and fast to make coordinated and useful moves is she?
This one is also something that she's quite adept at. I want to say at least a +1, maybe even a +2.
Okay. Well, which one?
+2.
All right.
Because she's cool as hell and fast.
Then senses. How,
aware of her surroundings?
Yes, how aware of her surroundings is she? And, how good is her eyesight and her sense of smell and her sense of hearing? That kind of stuff.
So, I definitely feel like she needs glasses, but cannot afford them.
Okay.
Is a little maybe even bumbling when it comes to danger. I think at least a -1.
Alright. What about her ability to, like, walk very quietly and stuff like that? Her stealth.
Setting this at 0. Like I said, guileless.
Okay.
Sneaking isn't really her style.
Well, she did live in a boarding school for a while that I imagine she might have snuck out of.
Oh, sure.
Which could still totally be a +0, because +0...
Just because she snuck out doesn't mean she got away with it.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, I feel like I always have to remind people, even though it's in the rulebook, that, like, a +0 is, like, for some skills, a +0 is, like, worse than average, and for other skills, a +0 is, like, better than average. It's just the middle. It's not an average.
You know, that makes sense. There's a cap on how much knowledge there is in medicine, like fucking brain surgery, than the cap there is for being real quiet.
Yeah, that will bring us to her...
Oh, shoot, we're gonna do wealth before write-in skills?
Typically, yeah, because it comes before in the book.
Okay,
I mean, it doesn't matter. We can do write-in skills before we do wealth skills. It doesn't matter. It's up to you.
Can we do write-in skills first? Is that okay?
Yes.
I think this is a golden opportunity to talk about write-in skills.
Okay, so we will go to her write-in skills before we do wealth skill. So write-in skills are skills that you write in. They are not part of the regular skill spread. They go in these empty boxes here, although just because there's 4 empty boxes does not mean you're actually limited to 4 write-in skills, or that you're limited to like 1 write-in skill for knowledge. You can have a bunch of them. We just only had 4 boxes to spare on the character sheet without making it take up too much space. These skills, they have to be set at a +1 or higher if they're even on the sheet. If they're not on the sheet, then anytime a character tries to do them, they have to use the most relevant skill that they do have, but with a -3 penalty. But if they do have them and they try to do those things, then they just have the skill and use it. There are, as I am slowly scrolling through here, there are write-in skills that we, the makers of the game, have put in the game, but if the skill you're thinking of is not found on this list, and it's a skill that, like, makes sense to be a skill for this character and wouldn't just reasonably fall under one of the existing skills, then you can literally write it in and, like, make up your own skill. So what write-in skills does Bernadette have?
Yeah, so, in keeping with her delinquent nature, she knows arson and lockpicking.
Okay. Lockpicking is a existing write-in skill, and that's a physical skill, so I'll put that here. And what is her rating of lockpicking between 1 and 3?
At least a 1.
Okay. Well, it has to be at least a 1.
Right, like we established.
Yes. Then arson, which is, I'm going to say that's a knowledge skill. What is her rating in arson? And, like, knowledge of fire and burning?
That's gotta be at least a 2, baby.
Okay.
That's kind of her entire shtick. Baby! Now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you coward.
Well, it made the 2 invisible. Alright, now we're going to go up to wealth.
Yes.
So, now we're at the wealth skill, which does not actually fall under knowledge, interpersonal, or physical. It's a separate thing. And this is not literally a skill, but it represents kind of their, like, economic class. You don't track money dollar by dollar for a character. If they have to buy something, you make a wealth skill roll. What is her wealth skill? I think I know it already.
It's a -3.
Yeah, I thought so.
She doesn't have a support network. She's just kind of doing it.
She has a one-woman support network sometimes.
Sometimes. When that woman isn't off gallivanting God knows where, getting herself into trouble.
Or when Bernadette isn't running off, or spurning her, or being too proud to accept whatever Bernadette is doing for her.
She doesn't need a handout, she says foolishly.
I think that's all her skills. So we are going to open the calculator, and we're going to add these up. which adds up to exactly 0, and so we don't actually have to change anything. And this happens a lot. Yeah, this happens a lot because Eureka just has a good skill spread, and like a lot of people that you can just imagine do kind of fit within this skill spread in real life.
Yeah.
Real people are good at some things and bad at other things. They all add up to 0, and so we don't actually have to make any changes to the skills that we have already laid out here. So she's got pretty good, I'd say she's got pretty good interpersonal skills, kind of mediocre knowledge skills, but some +2s.
Yeah.
And pretty good physical skills, at least if she's gonna have to get behind a wheel of a car or shoot a gun.
Yeah.
And bad wealth.
She failed at a game of capitalism.
Yes.
For sure.
So the next step of character creation is step 3. Choose traits. So investigators in Eureka have between 3 and 6 traits. What a trait is an element of like their personality primarily, that in Eureka you like kind of build their personality out of 3 to 6 traits, and that gives them some abilities or stat bonuses or stat penalties depending on what those traits be. And there's like 85 different traits in the game or something like that.
Like I said, so much to choose from.
Yes.
You can make so many kinds of guys
yes.
in this system.
But for her first trait, we're going to go to a different part of the book.
Ooh.
Because I just happen to know, because we, full disclosure, just so that we wouldn't spend too much video time scrolling through the traits and discussing what traits, and like reading all 85 traits and discussing what traits she has. Plus, this is a character who's been played before, and traits tend to be relatively stable across different adventures for the same character. We already know what traits that she's going to have, and one of them is not found in this part of the book, but instead found in the spooky, mysterious back of the book.
The fun part of the book.
In the mage power list. So, okay, they're here. So, the mage traits. Alright, so of course, I didn't say this at the beginning, but the Eureka rulebook is still in beta and unfinished, and you probably will have noticed that before we even got here. But this part of the book is like completely, we haven't even gotten to this part in our editing. We're getting there though, at the time of writing this.
Just needs a little TLC.
Yeah, and so like in the future, this won't say supernatural trait, it'll say paranormal trait and some other stuff. It won't be any of these like bracket notes that we left for ourselves and stuff. Anyway, a mage in Eureka, this is not like an in-universe term, like people aren't calling themselves mage, and no one is like has like a database of mages. A mage is just like a rulebook term for like player convenience for a character who is like otherwise a totally normal person, but has just like a couple of weird powers that are kind of unexplainable, and they don't know where they came from, but either since birth or like since adolescence or since adulthood or something, they've been able to do some kind of weird talent or power that they can't really explain and no one can really explain.
I think a great touchstone would be Carrie from the movie Carrie.
Yes.
It's not a secret society. She just one day has these abilities.
Mm-hmm. Like, yes, absolutely. And like, it's not like international news. People don't generally really know. Some people that know them might know, but like, I've met plenty of people who know them probably don't even like necessarily believe that they're actually able to do this, and they think it's like a trick or a prank or something. Anyway, so the mage trait, it is a trait. Something that it does is it will set her Eureka points to be more expensive automatically. She will need more investigation points to get 1 Eureka point, which she will need 18 instead of 15 just by having this trait, which is a little bit of like a balancing factor. So the way the mage trait works is give them the mage trait, which I will now write in, and the mage trait is made up of like X number of powers, and if they have like just one power, then the power is kind of easier to use. If they have a bunch of different powers, then each power is a bit harder to use. But she only has, well, we can talk about how many powers she might have.
In this one, we're going to keep it bare bones and simple.
Yeah.
This might come as a shock and a surprise to everyone out there that a character whose name is Burn has pyrokinesis.
Yes. I wonder who this is.
I wonder who it could be.
This Snoop representing the pyrokinesis mage power, who looks exactly like the freckled and curly-haired young woman who we have described and probably shown on screen at this point.
That fucked up freak.
Yeah. Pyrokinesis. So she can set things on fire just by wanting to set them on fire.
Yeah.
I'm just going to copy-paste this in.
This ability being what caused her family to just give her up and give up.
Yeah.
Too much for a working class family of 8 to deal with. They got spares, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's her first trait. And speaking of, bare bones or whatever, she is kind of the mascot in Eureka the fan service files, which is like a little expansion that we did to indulge some of the interests of some of the fan base that we attracted. And like partially as a joke, but I also did work very hard on it, and I really am very proud of it. And it's a real expansion.
Available now, wink wink.
Yes, it is available now, as is the Eureka rulebook, with like a bunch of traits based on some of the interests of our fans. Some of the things that already kind of existed in Eureka, but like the fan service files like takes those further. Bernadette is kind of the mascot for one of the mage powers in the fan service files, that is the Devour power, particularly the like more cartoony, like extreme versions of it that cost Eureka points to use. where she just like opens her mouth like cartoonishly wide and just swallows someone like he ate a cheese, like a cartoon character almost, as well as just putting in some of the art from it.
We get silly with it here.
But it's like, if it was happening, it would be very scary, as you might see in some art if we decide to put the art in here for real. The actual victim in the in that art is her friend.
Her frenemy.
Her friend.
Her greatest rival.
Her friend and like argument opponent, Yvette Preux, also another like mascot for the game, who has been in multiple adventures that Bernadette has been in as well, where they are good friends but also just argue a freaking lot, because they both always have to have the last word. And I guess in this art, Bern is having the last word for sure.
You could say that again. She uses this power wisely.
Oh yes, wisely, to devour the rich woman who is willing to pay for almost anything.
Who funds her lifestyle at times, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's staying true to her morals. Eat the rich, right? Punk rock.
And who is also a 800-year-old vampire. I don't know what that's going to do to her digestive system.
Look, she had a good run. 800 years is a long time. Everyone's got to die sometime.
Well, I don't think that she would have wanted it to be like that in any way.
Yeah, well, lots of things happen in life that we don't want, and yet...
It is... Actually, in the rulebook, because we have at the end of that, like, image sequence, we have at the end the... Was is this art of Yvette seeing the draw, because it's, like, implied that, like, Bernadette drew it just to piss her off.
Shittily.
So, while it is depicted, it is not canonical, but whether it's canonical that Bernadette actually has the ability, we'll leave that up to speculation, at least for now.
Leave it up to your sick imaginations.
I hope that does not happen to Yvette.
I kind of hope it does.
No!
Yeah!
Why?
It'd be funny. For the Looney Tunes factor.
But then Yvette would be gone.
Yeah, we'd miss her.
Yes. We would. Because character death is really real. And depending on how gone she would be would depend on how many Eureka points were spent on the ability.
Character death being like very real and also really impactful when it happens.
And hard to do for a vampire, but
and yet
it would take her out potentially for a while, if not forever, depending on what version of the ability was used. So yeah, we're not going to bring in the fan service files for this version, but of course there's no sharing character sheets, so I hope this does not happen to Yvette. I hope that Dame does not add this in after the video is over, and that
in my infinite mercy,
that Bernadette and Yvette's next argument does not end in like that. Of course, Bernadette could set her on fire too, which would be pretty bad for her. But
that wouldn't be great for her, to be fair.
I think she would be less upset about that. She'd be very upset about any of it.
I could see her just being put off about being set aflame, quite frankly.
Well, it's
depending
that, like,
on the circumstance.
In both cases, it would be that Bernadette did it.
Yeah. She's got a soft spot for that.
Yeah, because she loves Bernadette. She's a very loving person,
really?
a very kind and loving person, and very loyal and very stuff.
She is all of these things, but also a huge pain in the ass.
I think that Bernadette is the one who gets the label pain in the ass, because it's always Yvette, like, doing stuff and trying to take control of the situation and, like, keep Bernadette safe, because Bernadette is, like, a fragile human with only one life compared to the immortal vampire that Yvette is. And then Yvette just goes off and gets into trouble anyway.
And Bern's just like, no, I want to do that, actually.
Yeah.
Shut up. And then just goes and does it.
Yeah. And then there was the time that she did go and do it, and all of the, like, gangster bad guys in when we played Night Mother's Moon, a Call of Cthulhu module that we, like, roughly converted for Eureka, Bernadette got seen by all the gangsters, and then Yvette, like, killed all the ones that saw Bernadette's face, and Bernadette was, like, upset about that, and Yvette was like,
okay,
like, what?
First of all, I think we're skipping over a very important reason why she was seen. All right, it's important for everyone to know that she was doing something cool as fuck. All right, she was jousting on her bicycle and totally nailed a gangster while riding. Someone filmed it. It became viral.
And
She's
so her face was all
She's
over.
the moment.
Her face was all over the internet.
Times Square.
And Times Square. And then Yvette had to kill three men from the gangsters who like confirmedly saw her face.
Bird never asked her to do that, first of all.
Well, Yvette is trying to protect her.
Didn't even fill her in that was gonna happen, just in cold blood.
Well, she's cold about a lot of things, because she's a dead vampire.
Because she's dead.
Yes.
She ain't got no blood.
A very warm and loving person at heart, though, if you're her friend, and
if you're not,
or if you're someone that she is trying to protect, because she has the noblesse oblige to the poor and stupid and worthless commoners.
That's really sweet of her.
Not worthless, because she obviously values them tremendously, but does not value their agency, or
kind of sees them like sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's an angel.
All right. Enough. We have to move on and keep making characters. Okay. Anyway, we're going back up to the normal non-magical traits now.
All right.
So now we're back at the non-magical traits, and like I mentioned, we did pick them out beforehand for this. So
sorry guys, we cheated.
It saves a lot of time in the video.
Yeah. So yeah, she has picked up a terrible smoking habit in her young age, and as such, I've given her the trait comfort item.
Yes, and the comfort item is cigarettes.
cigarettes, but not weed cigarettes. No. Just regular cigarettes.
Either one disgusts Yvette, and she hates it for Byrne.
Byrne takes a little delight in that. Just a little.
So what this does is, well, actually, it's on screen right now, but the short version is that when she has to make a composure roll, if she's got a cigarette or like lights up a cigarette or something like that, she gets a +2 bonus to that roll. And if she doesn't do that, she has a -2 to that roll. Also, this is one of the most popular Snoops. You have this on a shirt, don't you?
I do. I have the t-shirt of this. I love it so much.
Yeah. We actually do have a small amount of merchandise that I should try to like make more of and refresh, but...
Dude, you gotta drop the link in the description.
We can't drop a link in the description because YouTube won't freaking let us.
What do you mean YouTube won't let you?
YouTube won't let us. We have to be like...
Editors.
We have to send them like a picture of our freaking ID or something to like make them let us... Yeah.
Can't you just put like a little like blurb in the video itself, like a hyperlink or something?
Well, no, you can't. You can't put any external links unless you have like verified with a freaking ID or something.
I hate the internet nowadays.
You can get this privilege through just consistently uploading stuff, but like we haven't uploaded enough stuff to do that yet.
Get there when you do.
I mean, the link is on our like Tumblr posts and stuff. It's not like hard to find if you go to other places that we have links.
Is there anything that our beautiful watchers can search?
Yes, they can search like A.N.I.M, spaced out with periods, merchandise store Bonfire on Bonfire to get such things as the Burnout Snoop mug and the Comfort Item t-shirt and the Snoop's hat and the A.N.I.M hat. I'm actually wearing this right now. I wear it all the time.
It's a signature look.
All the time. And the Tip the Scales Snoop shirt and the Bumbly Detective Snoop shirt and all this other stuff.
Lots of great stuff.
Yeah.
If you like Snoops, get a t-shirt.
Yeah. And we do get like a small amount of the proceeds from these. Alright, Comfort Item. What's her third trait?
Her final trait is that she's unpredictable. Loose cannon.
Alright, unpredictable. Unpredictable. The unpredictable trait. So normally most skilled rolls are done with a 2d6, but Bernadette's with this unpredictable trait would be done with a 1d12, which gives her a much swingier distribution of success rates. So she'll have a lot more full successes and more failures and less partial successes.
Very high risk, high reward. But that's the way she likes it. She either succeeds beautifully or fails terribly. All of which is entertaining to see.
Unpredictable. And she only has 3 traits.
Yes.
Okay. Then we've done her traits. So step 4 is any potential disabilities. I don't think she has any disabilities, does she?
Not yet.
Besides being like a freaky pyrokinetic,
right?
Which is not a disability; it's the opposite. It's an extra ability that most people don't have, but it sure was a pain in the butt for her early life.
Yeah, it didn't do her social status any wonders.
Yeah. The next is going to be her Tears of Fear. So what this is, when investigators encounter, scary, dangerous, stressful things, they might have to make a composure roll, and the modifier for that composure roll is determined by where that situation is on their Tears of Fear, from ridiculous to horrific. And there's a list of fears down here that have to be put somewhere. So like we mentioned, Bernadette has been played multiple times before, and I'm going to let Dame take it away with characters changing and the redoing of character sheets.
Yeah, so as has been mentioned, Byrne has been played in a few different adventures, and this has kind of shaped who she is indelibly and what strikes fear into her. This Tears of Fear list has changed quite a bit since her first iteration, and I think interesting ways. So we can go over that. Where do you want to start?
We'll start at Blood and gore. So, alright, so there are mandatory fears, which is what you're seeing here, the list you're seeing here. And then there's optional fears, which are like just sort of some suggestions and stuff. And like, similar to write-in skills, you can write your own in. And like, trying to leave stuff off does not actually necessarily benefit the character, because if they encounter something really scary, like a vehicle crash, just because it's not a mandatory fear doesn't mean that they won't probably have to do a composure roll. Like, instead of listing that tier of fear on the sheet during character creation, you would kind of decide at the moment of the crash where that would go on their tiers of fear.
It's great character development, I gotta say.
So, going back up to the top, we'll just do it from the top for the mandatory fears. Blood or gore?
Yeah, we have that at a +1.
So will it be a +1, like, in this version?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's creepy.
Alright. Then corpse.
Corpse is going to be at a 0. It's unnerving. She doesn't like it, but unfortunately she's had to see quite a few by now. Oh, yeah. So, kind of get used to it.
Especially after that incident in the van with Yvette, after she got her face shown to all of the bad guys, and then Yvette killed them in that van. So does that affect where death is also? Because that would actually be way more of a death than a corpse composure roll.
Death is horrific to her.
Oh, really?
Like, yes.
Like seeing death? I mean, like, that is very understandable for most people.
Seeing death, and also more so coming to terms with her own mortality. Okay. She acts very much like nothing can touch her, that she's hot shit and that she's gonna live forever, but deep down she knows she won't, and she deeply fears it.
Especially after that incident, and after those incidents with the gang and stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll put that at horrific. Disrespect. This is actually a more recently added one. Yeah. This that I've highlighted right here. This is based on something that happened in one of the adventures that had Bernadette and Yvette in the same adventure. Bernadette was here to see this be told to Yvette by another character, and then had to break it up when Yvette started strangling her after being told this.
Yeah. Something...
being told specifically the thing about the husband. The thing about that the only moral course of action would be to remove herself from the world there. That was told to her by a different character in a different adventure that Bernadette was also there for.
And had to break that up as well.
I don't think Bernadette was actually in the room for that one. Mm. But she was definitely sitting next to them in the subway when Kitty told this to Yvette about her husband, and then Yvette started strangling her. But Yvette wasn't going to kill her, also.
Just a normal day on the subway.
Just a non-lethal strangling to show her who's boss.
Just another day in New York City.
Anyway, where would disrespect be on this list?
Oh, she does not tolerate being disrespected very well. I think much like Cessna, it sends her into a frenzy. Goodness. Would you put that at terrifying? Where is it on Cessna's sheet? I think it...
Also, for the listeners, Cessna is another word for Yvette. Cessna is her, maiden name.
She's a woman of many names.
Yes. And many inconsistent spellings for those names, because she comes from a different time, back before you had to spell things consistently. I don't remember exactly where it is on her sheet, but it's either in -2, -1, or 0.
I think it's probably at a -1. Because I think she doesn't tolerate it very well, but I don't think she's quite as bad as Yvette.
Okay. Disrespect. Yvette, of course, disrespects Bern a lot, without meaning to.
All the time. That's why they fight so much.
Well, it's because Bernadette is A, poor, and B, young, even more young by the standards of Yvette's age. Even though Yvette was only a few years older when she died.
Yeah, she's kind of forever stuck in a 25-year-old physique.
Yeah, but like we said, Yvette cares greatly about the poor, but not greatly about their opinions or their agency or their dignity.
One might even say in a condescending way.
Yeah, and maybe that's why. See, that's what I mentioned being worried about with the potential for her to have that power. Of course, it would have to go pretty far for that to happen, I assume. I don't think that Bernadette often just gets people or kills people for pissing her off.
She's not that much of a hothead.
Yeah. But I can see it, actually, more so than setting her on fire, I can see that as like the potential for the Devour power. I can see that as like a prank, like shut her up prank. Or not prank, you like...
Prank gone wrong, gone sexual.
Like, it's not
You'll
intended
never believe what happens.
It's not intended to be, like, lethal. And maybe it wouldn't be. And Yvette would just be really, really mad afterwards. If Bernadette, like, put her in her mouth.
Come on, it was just a prank.
Yvette would
You can't be mad at me, it's just a
furious. Prank. Yvette would be furious when she got out. Like, more so than if she were set on fire. Legitimately.
Who puts me into your fizzy mouse?
Financial stress.
Another day, another dollar. Put that at ridiculous.
Okay.
Lives it, is used to it, whatever.
Fist fighting. Like physical
also
violence.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
She likes to get in fist fights.
Guns.
So, I've had it initially set at -1, but I almost wonder if that should go up to a 2.
To a +2 or a -2?
-2.
Okay. She has had guns pointed at her now, at this point.
A few
after
times.
a few times. And also, actually, I don't think she did actually see Yvette shoot someone with a... Actually, no, wait, no. She didn't see Yvette shoot anyone with a gun. She has not seen Yvette put a bullet through someone, because she wasn't in the van for the first shooting, and she was in the other room, like, just on the other side of the wall for the second time Yvette got into a shootout. But she did see Yvette put her whole friggin' hand through somebody's neck.
Yeah. She's heard a lot of gunfights.
Yeah. But she hasn't actually seen someone get shot.
Then maybe it should just stay
if that affects your decision.
Let's keep it at frightening.
Okay.
She
That's
doesn't
reasonable.
like guns. She doesn't use them. So they're, we fear what we don't understand. So she doesn't understand
And it's
guns.
also very reasonable to be afraid of them, though.
Yeah.
Even
they
without...
kill people.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to do that. The ultimate equalizer.
Magic. Or like general paranormal phenomena that like cannot be explained.
So it's a little bit balanced, right? She herself
does
magical,
have paranormal phenomena that cannot be explained as a part of her like self.
But also, like, it's really scary when other beings can also do that. She has encountered maybe one other person who is supernaturally inclined her entire life. Her whole 19 years. Her big 19 years.
Yeah, and Yvette has only seen it like 2 times. Less than 5, I think, in her, 806 years. Not counting herself.
I have it at 0. It's unnerving. Right. She's used to her own magic, but it's...
but not used to anyone else's.
Exactly.
Melee weapon, being threatened by knives or a baseball bat or something like that.
Now this she's a little less afraid of. This is more her speed. I have it at a +2 obnoxious.
Okay. Yvette will give her a lecture about how dangerous knives are then.
Bird has both knives and baseball bats.
She does have the baseball bat that Sister Harriet gave her as a present.
Her very special baseball bat.
Yeah. Monsters, such as a vampire.
Terrifying. She's encountered at least a couple of, aside from Yvette, in the modules that we have played in, there have been some pretty nasty creatures.
Yes, there have been. And she was actually in the room for the confrontation with the Night Mother from Night Mother's Moon, while Yvette was in a shootout with like 8 other people by herself against 8 other people.
Yeah, because she's so cool.
Because she's so cool, and she won without a scratch on her.
Yeah.
Police.
The police. Let's see. I think I don't have it on my previous sheet, so I really have to think about this.
I think it's new, or relatively new. It was in the optional fears before I moved it to mandatory fears.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think she certainly doesn't like them. I don't think she's been treated very well by them. I think I want to put that at, like, frightening. Yeah. Having lived on the streets, she's had to deal with them more than she would like to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, what about any of these optional fears, like spiders, or clowns, or darkness, or deep water, or disease, or dogs, or heights, or fire?
So, due to the first Eureka mystery that Byrne was involved in, she now has a crippling fear of deep water.
Okay.
At horrific.
Okay.
She already didn't like it very much to begin with, but after being pulled into a shadow realm that tried to drown her,
I guess maybe we shouldn't be naming these modules, but that was a Delta Green module actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I won't say which one.
Yeah, we won't say which one, but it's not that much of a spoiler that they're going to encounter the Night Mother in Night Mother's Moon in that Call of Cthulhu adventure. So we're not gonna cut that out.
That's fine.
This other one was a Delta Green module that we converted for Eureka that happened in.
A fun little haunted house.
Delta Green modules, I think, tend to work better for Eureka and be easier to convert than Call of Cthulhu modules, even though they're about secret agents, whereas Eureka's not supposed to be about secret agents. So there's pros and cons choosing between to convert Call of Cthulhu modules and Delta Green modules.
Oh, I totally believe it. Just from what little I've heard behind the scenes from our lovely friends who DM, it's a labor of love.
Yeah, we need more official Eureka modules. Anyway, what about any of this other stuff?
Let's see. Oh yeah, let's throw vehicle crash in there. Because that was also pretty traumatic.
That was something, well, she wasn't in the vehicle as it crashed.
No, but was greatly involved in it crashing, you could say.
That was when Yvette caused a car crash to kill one of the people that had seen Bernadette's face. So where do we put that?
Let's put that at terrifying.
Okay.
She still doesn't like getting into cars to this day.
Well, she wasn't in a crash.
No, but she was thrown out of a moving vehicle and witnessed.
It was slow moving.
A fatal crash.
It was slow moving, and it was to save her life.
She was thrown out of a moving vehicle and watched a fatal accident before her eyes. That's
she didn't
unnerving.
have to look at it.
Okay, yeah,
Here I am
giving
Yvette's perspective. Her completely insensitive.
Her unbiased
opinions.
She's her logical takes.
Is that it for the Tears of Fear?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. Step 6 is choose truth. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a character's truth is like a belief of theirs or like an element of their personality that isn't already a trait or something like that. That is it can be like anything, you write it in, but it has to be something that would spur them to action or cause them to take action or get them into trouble, cause them to mouth off or something like that. Of course, not every Eureka character has to have something that makes them mouth off, but some belief or element of their personality that is the kind of thing that in the right situation might cause them to do something that would change the situation. And you write it in, let's see, over up here in the truth section, and when they do something that is in line with that truth and based on that truth, They don't have to be like consciously aware that this is their truth, as you'll probably see. They get 5 +1s. They get a +1 to their next 5 rolls within the same scene. And also, there can be multiple truths as long as they're not like completely contradictory and like within reason. So what is Bernadette's truth or truths?
She has multiple truths. The first one being hot-headed.
Okay.
She's got a short fuse.
Should I put hot-headed or short fuse?
Put hot-headed.
Okay.
It's kind of interchangeable. Yeah. She's also overconfident.
Okay.
And finally, she's destructive.
Yes.
She knows what she wants and she takes action.
Yes. That's it for truth already. Freaking... I kind of messed up truth in the Nick Morgan video. The truth that I put for Nick Morgan in the other video, like, it's not really a very good truth. It was based on a very old character sheet that I remembered him having that was like from a much older version of Eureka, where like truth was much less well defined, and like I don't really know if I could justify it being the kind of thing that might spur him to action or make him change the situation. So it might not be the best example of a truth, which is one of the reasons why it's good that we have this video now that provides like excellent examples of a truth.
Oh, why, thank you.
Yes.
She's great.
Yes, she is. So now going down to inventory. So,
yes.
When you are redoing a character sheet for like another adventure with the same character, you can keep everything the same, but you have to redo inventory completely. You wipe it clean and you redo it. That doesn't mean they lose all their stuff every single time, like in the world of the game. But like,
unless it would be really funny.
You'll see when we start doing it. It'll make sense. When doing inventory, you start with an empty inventory for the character, and you roll wealth points. So wealth points are a resource that only exists in character creation, does not work in actual gameplay, but you roll 3d6 plus 6 plus wealth times 2. And that determines their wealth points, and then you spend all those wealth points to give them items that they currently have access to for this adventure. Of course, they can buy more stuff in the adventure with like wealth rolls, but those are dice rolls. Whereas wealth points, anything bought with wealth points, that is like a guaranteed thing that they have. That is not like, I guess you kind of roll for it because you roll wealth points, but you know, wealth points is a 3d6 roll that's like, it's going to be pretty regular, and they're guaranteed to have some items. So her wealth would be 3d6 plus 6 plus wealth times 2. Her wealth is -3, so wealth times 2 is -6, which means it'll be +6 and -6, so it's just 3d6.
3d6 straight.
Do you have 3d6, or should I roll?
I've got 3d6 right here.
Okay.
All right, we got a 3, we got a 5, and another 3, so 11.
Okay, 11 wealth points. That's pretty low, but she is practically homeless.
She's living large.
So we'll write that down. I'll just write it down here.
She's got 11 to work with.
And we will go through the item list and see what she's got. So things are free if they're like, you know, her basic clothing and like a wallet and stuff like that. Those things are free. Does it say like lighters are free? Because I know that she's the kind of person that would... Actually, would she have a lighter? Would she have a lighter because she is a lighter?
Why would she spend money on a lighter when she's a walking lighter?
That's true. All right, anyway, her inventory.
And it's so cool and sexy to light a cigarette off of her fingertip.
Yes. I don't think she has any animals, right?
No, she should not have any pets.
Okay. What about armor?
No. I'm presuming
not a jacket?
that if she had anything, it would be a denim jacket.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't literally have to be a denim or leather jacket, but like a thick and like sturdy jacket just counts as armor.
Yeah, she's got an army surplus jacket that she wears. It's kind of her iconic. It's kind of her brand. Oh, she'd hate it being called that.
Okay, what is it called?
Oh, no, not Army Jacket. She'd hate it being called her brand. That's
why. Okay.
It's so, corporate. Ugh.
So that is 1 wealth point down. What about firearms?
No.
Didn't think so. What about gadgets?
She would have a smartphone.
Okay, smartphone. And that is 2 wealth points. And any other stuff here?
Trying to... everything else is kind of... No, everything else is just
a little
extra.
expensive for her.
Yeah. Maybe
right.
If she has some wealth points left over.
You can get her a flashlight or something.
Yeah, although a smartphone has a flashlight on it.
That's true. But not a very, Alright, homes.
In many of her adventures, she's made do with cheap motels.
That's true. Though now in the newer rules, these are paid for by the night.
Oh, man.
And since we aren't making her character sheet for a specific adventure, let's just skip. If we were gearing up to do a specific adventure where we could come up with a reason why she's there in that town where that mystery's happening and stuff, then we would bother with prepaying hotel rooms with wealth points. But
oh sure.
Let's skip it for now.
The great thing about Byrne is that she really can just blow in from anywhere, wherever the adventure calls.
Yeah, and then Yvette will put her up in a really fancy hotel.
Yeah, so really she doesn't need to pay for anything anyways.
Yeah. Medicine.
I think would she have the wherewithal to have a first aid kit?
Where would she even put it?
In a backpack. She's got a backpack.
You can give her a backpack. Backpack is somewhere on this list.
I'm gonna say no to medicine for now.
Okay.
She is also straight up the type of person who will steal from Walgreens if she finds she needs something. So
yeah. Melee and other weapons.
Yes, she has a pocket knife.
Okay.
She also has a very special baseball bat, but I don't think that costs any wealth points because that was just given to her.
That's
lovingly.
True. How would we rule that? So, of course, spending wealth points on things does not mean literally that she's buying them. It just is a meta currency that you kind of spend to ensure that she has those things. So I think the baseball bat would still cost wealth points, which it is 1 wealth point here.
Damn,
even
really
though it's a special baseball
bank.
bat, it doesn't cost anymore.
Lovingly hand knitted cover over the top of it from a very sweet and very unstable Catholic nun. Well, she was unstable by the end of it.
Yeah, she was unstable at the end of it.
She was pretty stable to begin with.
Any other things on the miscellaneous list?
Lockpick.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have a lockpick. And a pack of cigarettes.
Oh yes. So lockpick is 2.
It's expensive.
Alright, pack of 20 cigarettes. How many packs of 20 cigarettes? Because, she might be making more than 20 composure rolls in any given adventure.
True. She hasn't... Gosh, is she at the point where she's buying whole cartons of cigarettes?
She only got 4 wealth points. We've only got 4 wealth points for her left, so...
yeah. Let's just say...
20 is a good amount.
She's down to her last pack.
Okay.
It will say.
Alright. Then...
Trying to think. I think that's good for now. We can always circle back.
All right. If we were doing this for a real adventure, we would probably work with food budget. Although she probably doesn't have food budget.
She's got 3 wealth points left over. That's probably what she'd save it for.
Other property. Does she have a business?
Oh, she's got business, all right. Personal business. You can take that out at other if you want.
Okay.
She does have a bicycle.
She does have a bicycle.
Shoot. She can't afford her bicycle.
Yes, she can. It's only 1 wealth point.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh. I know how to read.
Is it a regular bicycle or an off-road bicycle?
Ooh. Off-roading.
Okay, well that will take 2 wealth points.
Yeah, she's down to 1. That may go down to just a regular bicycle, depending on what's further down.
Oh, did we get her a backpack? Where's backpacks listed? Are those in miscellaneous? We'll take a look.
We'll see. Bag.
Oh, a bag. Yes, a small bag is a backpack, and that costs 1 wealth point.
Perfect.
But got a bicycle. Does she have a helmet like Yvette would really want her to have?
No. No, she does not.
As well as elbow pads and knee pads.
Helmets are gay.
No.
She would say, foolishly. Look, if I die, I die.
Yvette can skateboard without a helmet because she's immortal. She doesn't approve when other people do it.
You're such a hypocrite. I don't have to
Yvette
listen to you.
would absolutely disagree because she is immortal.
Yeah. Queen of do as I say and not as I do.
She's different.
It's a load
also,
of
she's a countess, not a queen.
That literally has nothing to do with anything.
Okay, so she does not have a helmet.
Nope.
Oh, I'll quickly explain the PM here. So PM stands for property modifier, and in addition to using the wealth skill to buy things from stores and stuff for like convenience, you can also roll wealth to see if they just have something in their backpack or like in their car or in like the like basket of their bicycle or something. But the PM like -6 or -7 represents that like it's a lower chance because of the convenience, and also tends to be based on like, you know, the size and space available in the storage item that they are trying to pull something out of. That's what the PM is. So like,
there's only so much that can fit in a backpack.
Yeah. I think that we are, so there's no more wealth points unless you have any last minute changes to this. I think that we are done.
I think that's
We've got our Bernadette character sheet.
That, dear listeners, is how you build a pyrokinetic punkette.
Yes. And we've got our truth of hot-headed, overconfident, destructive. We've got pretty good social skills, pretty middling knowledge skills, and
hit or miss.
Pretty hit or miss, but overall good for the kind of situation she probably gets into. Physical skills. She has the ability of pyrokinesis, where she can just set things on fire whenever she wants. Let's go back to that, actually. I mean, it was on screen, but let's show it off a little more.
Sure.
Let's see, where is it? So, we're going to quickly go over how cool the pyrokinesis power is, and then we'll end the video. So, like, her power of pyrokinesis is, like, it doesn't work 100% of the time. It causes her to take a composure roll, but because she only has 1 power, hopefully only has 1 power, it will be a +3 composure roll, which has a, at least a 60% chance for her to not lose any composure from doing it. Pyrokinesis is actually one of the few mage powers that can fail. If it says like, anything that is like highly flammable, it always catches fire. Anything like a little bit less flammable than that, it's like a 50-50 chance with a -1 for each like thing that would be causing it to make it harder to set on fire, like it being wet. And if you're setting a person on fire, they have like at least 1 round before it starts taking damage, before they start taking damage from it. But if a Eureka point is spent on it, then she can instantly set something ablaze in a burning inferno, as it says here, as long as it's like at all flammable.
Which is sick as hell.
Yeah, which that causes like it burns things a lot. So she can just instantly set something on fire, like as if it's like doused in gasoline.
The Burninator.
Yeah, and causes them to start taking 2 superficial damage immediately, which that's not like a lot to take at once, but it's happening every turn.
But
which
every
means
round?
that they're dead. They will be dead within 5 rounds, and they will be like seriously injured within just 2 to 3. rounds if they do not extinguish themselves. And that's like 2 to 3 rounds is like 10 or 12 seconds of in-game time. Not a
pretty sight.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me, actually. Should we put fire on her Tears of Fear, like in one of the lower sections?
It would be... Why, I dare say it's ridiculous, Addison.
Yeah. Although, she can't control fire. That's another thing, is this power... No, but
she loves it. She loves it so much.
Yeah, this does not allow her to, like, control fire. It just allows her to start fire. She can't, like, extinguish it at will, or like, move it around like a Avatar: The Last Airbender firebender, or anything. Like, she can just start fires.
Why would she want to control something so beautiful and so free? Is how she
I can think of a lot of reasons.
Fire, like herself, cannot be tamed. The very thought of trying to wield it in such a way is disgusting to her.
Well, there you have it. There is our Bernadette Byrne O'Malley character sheet. Thank you for watching. You can get Eureka. The one we've been using is the July 11th version. I think that on itch.io right now, at the time of recording, the latest is the May 29th version, which you can get for free, but, payment is optional, and we'd love it if you paid for it, because we do have, bills and stuff.
Gotta keep the lights on.
Yeah, we are a business. We do have to make money each month. But if you subscribe to our Patreon for at least $5 a month, you will be able to get like monthly updates, and like if you subscribe right now at the time of recording this, you would be able to get the July 11th version, which is the version that we're using. And next month in August, early August, we're going to be releasing an even more updated version on the Patreon. And then every 3 or 4 months or so, whenever we hit big milestones, typically we release the latest version onto itch.io and stuff. But yeah, you can find it on itch.io. You can find it on Patreon.
Support my friends. They're a great indie team.
Yes. Our Patreon is the Agency of Narrative Intrigue and Mystery Patreon. And if you just search Eureka, Investigative Urban Fantasy, itch.io, then you'll find it. Or if you just Google Eureka Investigative Urban Fantasy, you'll find it, and you can download it from itch.io. We also have bonus extra things like the fan service files that we mentioned, which gives a few more traits and powers that you can give to your investigators based on some fan proclivities. Like the Mage Devour power that Byrne may or may not have, to open her mouth really, really big and swallow people whole.
Ask and you shall receive, you sick freaks. Affectionate. I love you, sick freaks. Mwah.
I am really legitimately proud of how good I was able to make the fan service files working with fetish material.
You did a great job for it being kind of a sexy meme. They are rules.
Yeah, they're really good traits. They're really interesting. And I'm really proud of the Man-Eater monster trait, which is it's separate and different from the Devour Mage power.
Yeah,
different rules, but still a trait for a character who opens their mouth really big and swallows people, but differently.
Swallows bigly.
And
greedily.
More sympathetic and more of a monster in the usual vein of Eureka monsters. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry to say this, but it would help if you liked the video and or commented and or subscribed. We're not a big channel because it wouldn't help a ton, but that's the end of the video, and thank you. Goodbye.
Bye everyone.